They were looking for the other link. So we're live. Thank you guys for your patience. We got back online. You'll just see this on YouTube. Hope you can find us there. But Sam was asking us a question. Will you guys go ahead and clear that stuff away from the internet signal and maybe just move it forward? And that would really help. Not you, Petra, just that area right there. There you go. Just so maybe it just needs to get a clear signal. Thank you. So we were talking about the alignment of the shoulders, position of our opening up to an external rotation. And so when our hands are down, our fingers are pointing away. And when we come up to flex, our fingers are actually pointing towards our body. That's what you were saying, right? And that's a really good cue. Because when we were hanging out here, where we finished up, if your fingers are pointing away, then you've closed your shoulders. And so it's as simple as rotating and looking towards your knuckles. That'll make all the difference, and really strong up by your ear. So that was a really good cue. And then Tirza was asking us if you have any questions, then we'll just start with about 5 more minutes, and then we'll jump into our practice and go over the different body parts, which is really helpful. Tirza was saying in ladle, how can we apply some of these teachings? So does everybody want to try that with us? Do you want to watch for the first one? You want to watch? Yes. Yeah, let's demo it. So that way you can take notes if anybody's a note taker. You don't have to take notes, you can just be experiential, but some of these cues, it's important to just write it down. You can always watch the video to get that to come back up in your memory. And I like watching the videos, pausing them and writing it down and being like, oh, that's really good, right? So I do that all the time because even when I'm teaching, like I teach it different every time. I mean, there's another wave of inspiration that comes through. So I'm just going to go right into my floating Buddha. And if you're still practicing the names, I want you to go ahead and repeat the names in your head as we go along here. You don't have to say it out loud, but you're like, yes, floating Buddha, like loops at the ankles. Cue yourself. Hips heavy, just even here. Hips heavy, heart open is a really challenging pose. And then head in line with the body. Now, because we're on a diagonal already, if even with my hips as heavy as possible, my head is going to sink back. If I bring my head forward to keep it over my spine, I've closed the front loop. Do you understand? The front of the spine is short. So I'm going to lean back, and therefore chillax in arms is a must. So do you see this big long diagonal in the body then? Crown of the head towards the back corner of the room. I want you to pull all that information in. Then we inhale, open. So even in star, my hips don't move. I just press the back of my heart into the swing. It's not a collapse though, okay? People really love to collapse in that pose. It's really extending, extending, extending in all directions in the namaste. So even here, it can be challenging to pull the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together. I pull my elbows in towards my ribs to get that. Hands, thumbs stay at the sternum. Press the hips up and like really big, long lines of energy, and then sink the hips down. Open it up, okay? Now I'm going to come into ladle, so let's remember all of those cues, okay? So from even here, I'm ready for star. So that's star. So we're going to practice that from now on. We're going to press back into chillax and arms, and then we're just going to extend, and that's our star. That makes sense to everyone? And star is not collapsing your arms back all the way into a Y, it's staying up and into a T and pulling your fingertips away from one another, really strong. And then namaste, squeeze the elbows in towards the rib cage. Like press the chest towards the sky. Push the hips up, toes touch. And then even if we're not focusing on lower body, we have to keep that alignment. We slide in. We want to keep the swing in the sweet spot across the hips. So once it's there, sometimes guys, I thought you were going to ask Tirza, what do you do when the guys slide out? Because sometimes guys just slide out when they don't have hips. But you still can hook the iliac crest. And so were you saying with arms wide and overhead, or were you saying holding on? Wide and overhead. Okay, let's do here first. Because what I like to do now is I like to hold on to the swing, squeeze the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together. I'm rolling my chest open. You guys see the difference? Yeah, okay. You guys can move to the front of the room if you want to see the difference. Okay. And then from there, I keep that openness and I bring my arms wide and around. So even here, I'm pulling my shoulders down the back. Okay, I'm pulling my wings onto my back. Strong legs of energy. So even if your hands are touching, You can still unplug, I call it, or plug in. So engaged in all these poses. But really I want you guys to practice here. Pulling your elbows in, squeezing the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together, top of the shoulders spread, and see how that feels. Okay, let's come into sumo, and then floating Buddha. See if you can get yourself a little bit faster into your floating Buddha today. Awesome. I'm gonna hang out with chillaxing arms and just do a little windshield wipers from side to side. Now, my assistants in the back, if you see something happening in someone's body, I want you to go over and just use physical cues, not verbal cues, physical cues to help them adjust. Just see if you notice anything. So first thing here is hips heavy, heart open, head relaxed. Dynamic tension, pull straight up and out through the crown of the head. Okay? Up and out. So you really have to ground your pelvis to pull up. So you like press your tailbone down. You know, when I say hips heavy and nothing happens, press the tailbone down and lift the sternum up. Pull on the back of the occipital ridge. Really lift. Yeah, so up and out. So pat your elbows are at a T and then a little bit higher. Yeah, a little bit higher. Yeah, so tuck the chin in just slightly, just slightly. Drop the hips even more. That's it, beautiful. Okay guys, those little cues are gonna make all the difference and we wanna find the adjustment in ourselves. So lean back into it a little bit more. There it is, beautiful. Okay, so chillax in arms, right where you are, extend your arms out into a T, and that's gonna be your star for now. T, where's the T? T, not Y, T. There you go. And now, if you want your arms to go back, lift your chest even higher without moving your hips. Yes, beautiful, that's it. Namaste, hands to prayer at the heart. Okay, press the hips up, squeeze the elbows in towards your sides as you squeeze the bottom tips together and press the heart up. Does that feel like a different pose? Anyone? Awesome. Reach up, grab for the swing, let it slide into the waist, and then let's do that same thing. I'm gonna turn around so those that are watching can see the difference. It's really, really good to get this squeeze. So holding on to the swing, now you're gonna squeeze the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together, roll the elbow creases towards the back of the room. Yes, tops of the shoulders expand. Straight arms, straight arms. Yes, that's an external spiral. Just physical cues, no words. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Yes, squeeze the toes together. Nice. Beautiful, guys. That's it. Beautiful adjustment. Now bring the arms. Keep that alignment. Don't lose your alignment. Now keep your arms wide. Bring them wide. And then swim them overhead. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. They're not going to touch, but see if the bottom tips of the shoulders, your wings can sit on your back a little bit more. Now unplug your shoulders. Pull your fingertips away from your body and then plug. So toes touch, arms overhead, palms up. That's it. Thank you, guys. All right, toes touch. Glue those toes together. Straight legs. Now bring your arms wide. Reach up, grab for the swing. Same alignment. Did you keep the alignment? Hold up. Stay there. Reach up, grab for the swing. Did you lose the alignment or is your chest still flexing? Even more. External rotate, Carolyn. External rotate. Now keep holding on. So palms, yes. The other way with the palms, yeah. External rotate, yes. So grab her biceps and roll them towards the back body. Try that. Yes, yes. That's it. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Okay, go ahead. Bring the head up, hips down, come to sit. Oh la la. My goodness. Just even holding that in that pose, there's so much strength in the body. Could you guys feel the difference? Did that answer your question?
It did. It's tricky to feel it for me. I think it might be that I have a lot of tightness. So lowering those things. a lot of tightness in the shoulder.
Do you want to come up here?
Sure.
Can I make a comment? Also
Yeah.
that when we're inverted and reaching our hands out, when I twisted my, you said put palms up.
Just like this.
If you put the palms down, you get a deeper twist. Just saying.
Well, this is the alignment we're going for.
Okay.
This is the alignment we're going for instead of this.
From a guy's perspective who has a tight hip,
Yeah, we're gonna have you face that way and get into. Yeah.
keeping my toes together is a challenge.
That is the internal spiral.
Yeah.
That is the internal spiral. If your toes are not touching, you're flaring out. So we're learning this and to keep the alignment of the hips. And yes, guys externally spiral and duck their feet way more than women do in general. Yeah, great. So find the alignment here. So hips heavy, heart open, head relaxed, pulling straight up and out. So any suggestions? Do you have any suggestions so far for Tirza? What do you guys see? Amy, what do you see?
I feel like there's a little bit of a U going on.
This swing could be a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Just a little bit higher on the other rest swing. Drop. Yeah, that's it. That's all you need to do to adjust. Did you see how she adjusted? She didn't get out and wrestle it. She didn't lose the pose. We want to be able to adjust the swing just like that. Now she has a better diagonal. Thank you. Okay, anybody else see anything? I would say just keep your chin level. Just a little, no, this is level up. Yeah. It keeps tucking in because that's been the habit. So chin level. So when we're not standing level with the earth, how can we find level, right? We're gonna have to find that. Pressing the back of the head into the hands is gonna make a huge difference. Now, don't move anything, just bring your arms wide out into a T. That's the star. So your head's too high, Amy. Get your head in line with your body. So stay here for a second. You should relax in arms again. So if I see somebody struggling like this, does anybody see her struggling? Don't change. You're like, I can't do it. Yeah, because it's not aligned, right? It's too far forward. So this is when I come over and do this and pull. That's aligned. Okay? Mm-hmm. See if you can keep that. You're going to develop new muscles. Keep it. Keep it. So she wants to drop into my hands.
Are the muscles working on the front of my neck?
Yes, they're supposed to, all the muscles. Use your hands until you get it.
Okay.
Also, her arms are so flexible that they're
Yeah,
really
that's
bad.
why I keep saying T.
Yeah.
Do you understand? If the arms are too flexible, we're going to strain the joints. It's a T and then let the chest go the rest of the way. Okay, well, we're with Tirza right now, so let's thank you, Tirza. Okay, so now namaste. So hands come around into prayer. Press the hips up. Yeah, press the hips up, lean back. Pull the elbows in and pull the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together. So Lori was doing this. Yeah, so there's still more that can happen here. Push your chest forward. Push. Yes. See that? There was something not allowing her to really open up. So maybe this way is a little bit better. Does that feel different?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you can reach up and grab for the swing. Yeah. Let it slide in. Now the same thing, that external rotation. Keep holding on. Mm-hmm. Isn't that really different?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do it on my own.
What do you mean?
Well, when I squeeze in, it feels like I don't get the same place as when you or Laura.
Well, there's some tightness there, but
Yeah.
by doing this, it's going to open. Yeah. I want it to come from here. That's all. Just from the top more, not just the elbows. Because she's so used to, most people, hyperextending the other joint because this joint's too tight. No bueno. That's what happened to my knees because the hips were too tight. I kept overextending my knees. So same with the elbows. We want it to come from the chest instead of just from the elbow joint. But for now, we're rotating our elbows to the front of the room. Okay, great. Now keep this. Bring your arms wide. Keep it. Bring them wide, and then overhead. Yeah, overhead. Now pull your shoulders down your back. Yes. Straight arms. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do you know what I mean by unplug? Unplug your shoulders. Pull your hands forward away from you. Yeah, and then plug in. Now unplug. And then plug in. Okay. It's a small movement, but it's the difference between a happy shoulder and an unhappy shoulder. Come on up. So inhale, keep the alignment, reach up. Same thing, squeeze, wait, see? We lose it in the transitions. The transition is the pose, okay? We get really lax or sloppy when we're transitioning. So it's a swimming up and over, pulling the shoulders down. This is unplug, this is plug. This is unplug, this is plug. Can you guys see what I'm doing? I'm pulling my shoulder out of the joint, and plugging is pulling the lats down the back, right? Go ahead and come up. Inhale, head up, exhale, hips down. You're welcome. Hands to prayer. Namaste. All right. So let's do the same thing in flying monkey. So we're going to stay in our floating Buddha. What we're going to do in this practice is start to incorporate some of the body parts now. I want us to work on the C7 joint. That is the intersection of the neck and the shoulders. This is a big deal. If your head has been jutting forward and your chin's been tucked in, you're putting strain on the C7 joint and taking all of the curvature out of the neck, right? So from here, we're all facing me. We're going to work on pulling our elbows towards one another, squeezing the bottom tips of the shoulder blades down the back, lifting the chest, but rounding. So you can lift the chest and pull the shoulder blades down the back at the same time. Have you guys started to play with that? Because most people just jam, so they drop the chest. Lifting in the front, rolling down the back. It's a wheel. That's it, Sam. That looks great. Okay? Yeah, that's right. Here we go. So flying monkey, we get into it from our floating Buddha, feet together, knees open wide. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is open up the hips, right? We got to keep the hips open. Then we glue the feet together. Really important to keep the alignment. Press the feet together, lift the hips, slide your hands up as high as possible. Now even here, pull the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together, lift the chest. Externally rotate your biceps. So go ahead and help, walk around, stand. Why don't you come over and help Caroline again, and see if we can get that external rotation. Maybe it is hard to find a couple times, so roll the shoulders around a few times. Keep the hips pressed up, roll the shoulders around, pull them down the back, spread the top of the shoulders, bottom tips of the shoulder blades roll together. Really good. You guys can come on down, take a breath, and just watch for a demo, and then we'll do it together one more time. Okay, so feel free to ask any questions, but I want you to imagine, how is this releasing the C7 joint? Okay, just imagine what's happening here if we push the hips up, and when we squeeze the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together and lift the chest. So this is how we've been doing flying monkey, just normal. And then this is the variation. So I'm really rolling my shoulders back and down, externally rotating my biceps, which is the shoulder joint, and then the bottom tips are squeezing. So roll the shoulders around a couple times and feel that. Feel what happens when we open up the front of the neck and chest while squeezing the back body. I want you to really focus on this joint. This is a really important hub. So in the upper back, we work on the upper thoracic spine, arching from the upper back is going to make sure the lower back and the neck is happy. That's why we're supporting the head until we get that strength and openness. And then this external rotation, squeezing the shoulder blades together and down the back, as well as lifting the sternum. That's going to help release the C7 joint. Feet together, knees open wide, glue the feet, press the hips up. Yes. And then see if you can arch and open. So externally rotate the biceps even more. Yes. There's a swing move a little bit down. Yes. We're holding on with our hands, so don't worry about where the swing goes. The swing position doesn't have as much of an impact on the pose. Yes. Nice, Sam. So even more. Arch even more, Lizzie. Yeah, it's work. You're going to get strong in this practice. Should my biceps be engaged or just relax for that? Come on out and ask me again. My biceps should be engaging them a little bit? So straight arms, it's a rotation like this. Yeah. So the whole arm is working, but you don't want to bend the elbows. You really want straight arms. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you roll the shoulders around, what does that feel like, guys? What do you notice? What does that open?
Hips, clavicle.
Nice, come on down. Really good. Okay. So we've learned how to release the neck. We've learned how to release the C7 joint. We've learned how to open the chest. Let's go into butterfly and bow and some of those poses. So we're gonna keep moving down the body. Unless you guys have questions, I'm gonna start to bring this all together. So for right now, just for right now, we're skipping the internal spiral, the hips heavy, core engagement, because I want to really focus on that tomorrow. We're jumping to arching from the upper thoracic spine to initiate our back bends from the upper back. And we're really going to focus on keeping the lower back happy in these poses. And then we need to stack the bones and everything. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And then we already went over. So we're almost done with all the alignment principles and we're wrapping it all together. Another hour of practice. And then we'll get into. And in our free time, it's really okay if you just need to totally unplug and get something to eat. But practice with one another. Take that time to deepen into the experience. If you like teaching each other, then I highly recommend spending that time, 20 minutes of that time, just teaching each other, finding a buddy and saying, hey, can we go over that? And practice teaching the whole thing if you want. So we'll teach a little bit more tomorrow, but today is more, instead of teaching, we're doing assisting, right? Okay. Coming into, let's just slide right into chillaxing from our floating movement. Did you feel that, Lizzie? Were you able to get that open? It changes everything. You know, it's too much information on the first day with a new client or in a workshop. You know, even trying to learn the poses and memorize all these names is a lot. So now we're ready to build on it. And trust me, there's a whole nother module. There's a whole nother module 3 that's coming this year. So it's literally never ending. It's pretty crazy, but we're gonna use this practice to kind of open it all up. I ultimately want to do light body activations with the swing practice, but you don't need to know that. You just need to know you feel better, feel more energized, you're happier, you're more relaxed, any of those things. Okay, butterfly. Okay, so from here, right, where's your pillar? I'm seeing some like loosey-goosey pillars right now. So even here, where's your pillar? Dynamic tension, pressing the sit bones down as you lift the sternum up. Reaching for your knees, sliding up as high as you can. Inhale, bicep curl. Keep your pillar. So how many people notice that in bicep curl, which sometimes I call silver spoon, but in this lift, most people lose their pillar. Let's try it again. So exhale, squeeze, like we're coming into a child's pose. Inhale, lift. Keep the head directly over the body. Pull the elbows in. Pull the elbows in to lift the chest. Exhale, squeeze. Let's do that a few more times. Is everybody doing okay? Inhale, lift. Has everybody got it? That's it. Watch where the head is. The head's going to want to lead the way, like the heart lead the way. Keep your gaze up. Just notice if your gaze goes down. Yes. Okay, sink into it. Sink into it. This is the stretch. We don't want to be like just pushing down with our legs. We want to really use our arms to lift here. And then we tee the arms. This is one of the places where teeing the arms becomes really challenging. We are going to get into some more of our advanced poses tomorrow, but I just want to show you guys in this position, when I lean forward, I don't lose my tee. I want you guys to practice that. Make sure, look at my gaze, it's up. So if your gaze goes down, your head goes down. So really keep that arch through the chest and press your arms. Lift even more. Externally rotate your thumbs all the way back if you're not sure. That's it. That's it. Gaze up. Gaze up. Okay? If your habit is to look down, look up even more, not with your neck, but with your eyes. Just with your eyes. That's it. Tee the arms. Nice strong arms. Tee. That's it. Beautiful. Exhale, lean back. Let's just keep working that point right there, that hub. No, we're working upper body and lower body together. We can't help it. That's it. Look up. Look up. Mm-hmm. You okay? Yeah. Coming back in. Yeah. So lead with the heart. Try it one more time. Just even here, if you're going to do it quick. Pillar, lift, heart in line with the body. That's it. Better. Yeah. So your arms are going back. Where's your tee? Press forward with your hips. Press forward. So don't let your hands come back. Let them come forward. Push them towards me. So I call it flapping the wings if we're not sure. So yeah, keep your T. Yeah, all the way forward, press your hips, press your hips. It's just tightness in the lower body. And it's okay if you slide up into high diver. It's no big deal. We're working, just pull your knees towards one another. Purposely pull your knees towards one another. What I'm doing with my hands, do with your legs. You got it, pull them up, yes. High skydiver is a legit position, okay? If somebody is really struggling with the hip part and we're working on the upper body, bring them up. Okay, and then if you want to come back out, you just lean back, drop your hips, come right back in, but lead with the heart the whole time. Just try it. See if you can make that transition. Just say they slid up. It's like, whoops, come on back, drop the hips. Have some fun with it instead of it being like, oh my God, I failed. You can just tell people feel so defeated. It's like the leg loop slid up, whereas we're all going to be okay. That's it. Keep leaning forward with your hips. That's it. You got it. T the arms, T the arms. So this is a deal. If your arms go back, you're going to head dive. When you press your arms forward, your chest lifts. Try that. Let your arms come all the way back. Notice that your head drops. Press your arms all the way forward. Notice it lifts. It's a really intense nerve stretch down the arms, actually. I do this flapping with my clients sometimes where it's really, so look up, Petra, look up. There you go. Thank you. All righty. Flex. Right? Butterfly. So if I just say butterfly, everyone's going to go like this, right? So flex, slide it in. You don't need to go very far to get the stretch. Keep your hips pressing down towards the earth. There's lots of sounds over here. So, where's the gaze? Slightly forward, 2 feet. Thank you. Slightly forward. What are you feeling, Carolyn? Stuff. Let the swing slide into the elbow creases a little bit more. What would that look like? Yes, that's it. That's it. Beautiful. This is a big pose.
And we're still slowing down the bottom of our wings, activating our wings here.
Absolutely. Fine. So we're practicing all of those details. Where are the bottom tips of the shoulder blades? Can you pull your elbows down towards the earth? That will lift the chest. Yes, Tirza. Yes. Even if it's just an energetic pull down of the elbows. Yeah. Thank you. Pulling the feet down level with the hips so your feet are going too high. Charlotte, that's the only thing. Your feet were like all the way up here. Keep the feet level with the hips. Okay? That's it. So all these details we keep adding in with time. All right, come on out. Engage with the arms. I know, I was like, oh my God. So that is the biggest pose that opens up the whole body, right? Yeah. Everything, but we have to work up to that.
And these will open up in time.
That'll break. No, it'll open. There is heart matters. There are matters of the heart happening here. We do not want to rip that open. We want to gently, with gravity, relax into the openness. Gravity will do all the work. If we're tensing against it, it just means we're not ready. Our option is, let's all do this option together. If that's too much, especially the hold for that long, that was a really long butterfly. Reach up for your leg loops. Make sure that you slide up from your knees to make sure it's the leg loops. This is a great option, guys. Don't feel like it has to be hard. That's not what we do. We're not doing hard camp, hard booty, blah, 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 hard body booty. We are doing playgrounds, yeah? So from the center of the mat, we're going to bring our hands to prayer. So make sure you hold on to your swing and lean back so you have that sweet space, right? There's a space. Now bring your hands to prayer in that space. No? One more time, Lizzie. Hold on to the swing, hands to prayer in that space. Yes. It's easy to get entangled here. There you go. Lean back so you can see it. There you go. Press the arms forward and away. T the arms. See if you can find it a little bit higher, Charlotte. Yeah, there's the T. Thank you. Now, if they're already going back, you know they're going to go back when a little bit more forward for me. That's it. Look out and see if you can see your thumb. The cool Jesus move, if you guys want to remember it in a funny way. Yes, cool Jesus. Okay? Not cool Jesus. Cool Jesus. Not cool Jesus. I don't think you can say that. Okay. Jesus is always cool. So we're going to bring our legs wide. Now, I have to kind of negotiate with my hip bones. So I have to just kind of wiggle from side to side to get the leg loops on the outside of the hip bone. It's just like a little movement. Now, just keep the T with the arms and start banking arch from the upper thoracic spine, lower back should be happy. You can pick up your feet if you need to, but really we're not focusing on the hips as much today. We really want to get this upper body down. Notice it's really hard to focus on both at the same time. So let's just keep the upper body today. Good. There's nothing down there, not a single thing. There's nothing to look at. Just look up and just try it for today. Up, just think up. It works so well in the body. Now roll your thumbs back if you're having trouble with the external rotation. That's it. Now keep that external rotation and bring your palms to center. Yes. Do you see how you can externally rotate and then bring your palms back? There you go. Flap your wings. It's going to be the lesson of this because it's tiring. Can you feel how much work this is? We're not doing very much, but you know, it's challenging to fly. We're earning our wings. Now from here, let's slide into our butterfly. Remember to flex first. If we don't flex now, we're not going to flex later. Pull your elbows down. Everybody's elbows are a little ahead. So Lizzie, it's like this. Yeah, good. That's it. Do you feel the difference in your chest? That's huge. You only need an inch. I know I'm making like exaggerated movements. That's it. Yeah, slide in a little bit more. Yeah, let it slide in. There you go. Relax into the pose. Let it hold you. There's a balance between our tension and our relaxation. And then our feet come together, knees are wide. We're in the same pose, but we can hang out here a little bit longer and play with the openness in the chest. Slide in a little bit more, Lori. Let the leg, the swing slide in.
If I'm not level with the hips, I'm not level, is that?
Well, this is the movement. You just extend, slide in, extend, slide in. Yeah. Yeah. Just slide in a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah. There is a sweet spot. If it doesn't feel like the sweet spot, just make a change. Don't drop the head. It's attached to the body still. Thank you. See how it was just hanging off there? Drop the heart. Drop the heart. Yeah, even more. What would that feel like? It's intense. It's a big pose. Now, if your hands are falling asleep, let's come on down. Legs are in a wide straddle, wide center, and then press, 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 come on up. Oh my goodness. So is anybody like in a full body sweat? Like it's amazing how we didn't do very much, but that is an intense pose when we add all those alignment principles. Woo! Okay. Just notice the upper body now. If we're just holding our own body weight and engaging both strength and flexibility, we're going to create long muscle fibers. Does this make sense to anybody? Short muscle fibers, long muscle fibers. You know the short muscle fiber people, the bodybuilders, long muscle fiber people, martial artists, right? They're just as strong, but they created long muscle fibers. So we want to use the full capacity of our strength, which is half engagement and half elongation, right? Engage but relax. It's using both sets of muscles or both directions of the muscle simultaneously. Okay, a bow pose. Why don't we all go in the same direction, just like for me, so they can see the shoulder rolls with our live stream. Rotating in the opposite direction, putting on the leg loops for chillaxin. Bow pose. Let's go through. So start chillaxin arms. Hips heavy, heart open, head relaxed. Okay, so star. This is what it looks like. Just watch me first. Extend the legs, extend the arms. Press the back of the swing into, back of the heart into the swing. That's it. So let's all try that together. Okay, chillaxin. Extend the legs. See my hips didn't move. Extend the arms, press the back of the heart into the swing. Beautiful. Namaste, hands together. Press the hips up towards the sky. Squeeze the elbows in. Lift the chest. Externally rotate the biceps. That should feel really good. Okay, reach up, grab for the swing. Externally rotate right away. Straight arms, externally rotate. Really puff out your chest. Yeah, squeeze the bottom tips of shoulder blades together. Let it slide down towards your waist. Back of the neck long. Back of the neck long. Toes touch, Petra. Yes, there we go. Beautiful. Bend the knees. So you're going to keep the knees tracking in alignment with the hips. So be really honest about how big your hips are. Some people, your hips are not that narrow, and some people they're not that wide. Find your hips. Keep the external rotation, bring the arms wide. Now when you reach back, your palms are gonna grab for your ankles. Can you still externally rotate the shoulders here? Pull your feet away from your heart and lift. Yes. That's it. So that will open up the whole back. Lower back should be completely happy. Yeah. Release the ankles, reach up, grab for the swing, inhale, lift, bicep curl, exhale, drop the hips, come to sit. And just make sure that we're counterbalancing that big pose. So the counterbalance would be child's pose, okay? So we're gonna talk about counterbalancing and how important it is that everything comes into harmony in the body. So every time that we close, then we're gonna open, okay? So the way that we counterbalance our child's pose is by extending through our hip flexors and lifting and lengthening, okay? Both in namaste and then in ladle. So we want to make sure we're doing these poses as much as we're doing the closed poses. You see all these poses have the alignment principles in it. You see my head is pointing straight down, it's not back, it's not here, straight down, pulling from the ears. Any questions while I'm here? Otherwise, I'm going to come up. Okay, I'm just going to come out this way. Beautiful, guys. Okay. What other poses did you guys want to try? Why don't we work the arms a little bit? Let's mix it up. Come on out. Let's come to stand. I'm going to teach you a standing sequence that we can do both restorative and then work into some more of the dynamic strengthening. We're going to build on the sequence tomorrow and learn how to do flips and inverted splits and all that. But for today, we're going to start out. So has anybody experienced carpal tunnel? Has anybody, I'm going to work arms and wrists together. Yeah, maybe I've had wrist stuff, not necessarily that. It's very popular with all the computer stuff. So one of my favorite things to do is to hang, obviously. So I hang by my wrists quite a bit. So if it's too much to hang by both wrists, you can hang by one at a time, okay? I'm gonna bring my swing up one. So you can bring it up or down. I'm just gonna bring it up one so that I can get a full body hang. Some of you guys have your swing higher. So it doesn't matter if it's high or low, it's the same hang, okay? So the wrist wrap. We're gonna make sure that the handhold is touching the top of the wrist, bending it back, and then grabbing, okay? Top of the wrist, this is a full body hang. I come into my sumo squat. So even here, I'm looking for dynamic tension. It's really easy to find dynamic tension in this pose because something's pulling me up and gravity is pulling me down, okay? Where's your head? Can you keep that lift like somebody's pulling straight up from your ears? There's nothing down there. Seriously, let's just for today practice looking up instead. Look what's up there. All right. Chin level with the earth. Lifting the chest even here. What happens when you engage your lats? Engage your lats. Get in head. Engage your lats. Those are your lats. This is unplugged, this is plugged.
We want to stay plugged into this one?
Well, it doesn't matter. I just want you to engage your lats and feel the difference. Feel the difference, yeah. If you stay engaged, you're gonna get tired pretty quickly. It's usually, what we wanna do is just hang and stretch the spine. So we're stretching the lats here, which is okay. And then we can get into the side body by just letting our hips shift from side to side, being really easy about it, letting it feel good, maybe adding a twist. Of course, we're going to revisit all these poses when we get into our lower body tomorrow. Very important to work upper and lower body, those hubs together. We're just isolating them in order for us to understand the alignment. Okay, what else can we practice here in our alignment principles? What else did we learn? Stacking? We're going to get to stacking, yeah. But We are like pretty much stacking because the swing is doing it for us. Let's come on out and give a little break to our hands. Oh, there you go. Just to keep it even, we will do a little bit of core activation today. We haven't done any core activation yet. Okay, minimize the chatting and let's just have the physical cues if we need them. So we're gonna go into one hand at a time, okay? So the same thing where we'll pick the right. We're gonna rotate the left toes out. Press the chest forward, let the head come back over the body. You're gonna have a straight arm here and try engaging, which means you're pulling against that. Pulling your lat down your back, and then your left hand can hang. Now here, instead of keeping my diagonal, my crown of the head going to the top corner of the room, I'm gonna drop my ear to shoulder to get a neck stretch. So this is one of my favorite neck stretches. So we're going over neck again. And you can roll your head around. This is a nice way to just let your body do the work. Let the gravity, this abundant force, stretch your body out. So just holding on. Let's come on up and try the other side. Did anybody like that stretch? Yeah, it feels really good. You don't have to get fancy, right? This is a really simple pose. Coming into triangle pose, where's the alignment, right? So we're gonna like tuck our pelvis, or pull our navel in, but extend through our pelvis at the same time. Because usually it's one or the other, right? So pull in through your navel, let's just get that alignment, and then bump your hips out to the side, so you're still keeping that diagonal, and then let your ear drop to your shoulder. So we're losing the crown of the head just to get the stretch. So the chin is still gonna stay neutral, and your gaze is slightly up. Yes, that's the stretch. That's it. Really nice, guys. Good variations back there.
With keeping a slight external rotation to that.
That's right. So I turn my thumb towards the sky. Just notice, thank you. Notice what happens if you rotate. So it's like your elbow crease is gonna try to look towards the sky. That changes everything, right? Beautiful. If you want to go a little bit deeper, we're gonna step into a side plank. So we're gonna really engage with the shoulder and then relax with the shoulder. Engage with the left shoulder, relax. Engage, relax. Right? Changes everything. Yeah, we have one more side. Let's go back and try our plank pose. Let's see if we can step right into it. Now notice the difference. If I try to keep my diagonal here, it's going to create tension in my neck. So you drop the ear to shoulder to use gravity and the weight of your head, but looking up. Charlotte, looking up. Yeah, and then drop ear to shoulder. Yes, these are your scaly side of the neck that gets really tight. Engage the shoulder, relax the shoulder. Engage, relax. So this is how I work the arms, and it's stretching my wrist. Straight arm the whole time if you can. Just let it come from the shoulder joint. That's it. That's it. Pulling the wing onto the back. Okay, step on out. We can only do those for so long. So then we're going to come from behind. And even though these are traditionally leg stretches, we'll go over leg stretches again tomorrow, we're going to focus on that lift in the upper body and the spine. Okay? I like to hold on to the handholds. You can hold on to the leg loops if they feel like too high or that your hands still need a break. Just come on out and give them a shake whenever you need. Holding on with a wrist wrap is preferred. You can hold on with your fingers, but your hands will get tired more quickly. At least that's what I find. When we stand at the back of the mat, we did this in our workshop, right? We might do this in our workshop again today. We're going to kick the swing forward. I kick it with my hands. I'm just pushing it forward so I get some momentum. And once I have to time it, once the swing is forward, I'm going to bring my leg up. Let's bring the right leg up and get the ankle hooked. Straight leg, hook the ankle, wiggle in there. You can use one hand to help it, but always hold on with the other hand, standing at the back of the mat. So the same thing here. Everyone lift. The pillar has been lost. Let's get our pillar back, right? Lift through the chest. Start pressing your hips forward. Elbows are in And as we pull in, we're gonna press to the front of the room. Keep pressing up onto the toes. Exhale, come on back, straight arms. Now you can drop your chest towards your standing legs, but keep your head in line with your body for today. Yeah. Inhale, lift. Bicep curl, press. That's it, exhale. Leaning back, bowing. So just bowing with the heart, not the head, the heart. Yep, there you go, good adjustments. Inhale, lift to neutral. Exhale, bend the knee. We're gonna slide in. Press the hips forward. Now when we press the hips forward, we're still keeping our head in line with our body, and we're gonna bring the arms wide. I call it ta-da, right? Ta-da! And then the same thing, lift the chest. So find this little undulation through the upper thoracic spine. Do what I'm doing, just a few times, undulate. Lift the chest, let the chest drop. Lift the chest, so we're pressing our arms away. More like a V, little up a little, that's it. And then press away. It should be really strong on the arms, a little bit higher, V. Yeah, there you go. There, that's it. So it's a smaller movement, it's just this, it's kind of like pumping. It's like a belly dancing move that they do, where they do that thing where they lift the thoracic. Just the chest, that's it. Beautiful. Let's come on back. Holding on, we're gonna switch in the air. Let's just try those two moves. So I'm going to float. Press the swing down to my ankles. Press the swing down to your ankles. Yeah, don't forget that part. So get right underneath your plumb line so you don't bop your buddy. So bring your foot to the center of the mat. There you go. Let's try a transition through flying monkey. Press the feet together, lift the hips, arch and open. Pull the bottom toes of your shoulder blades together, externally rotate. Even rotate your thumbs, right? Turn your bicep crease to the sky. Squeeze. Puffing out the chest there. And then exhale, lower. Straighten the legs. Really nice, everyone. Left foot stays in. Right foot comes down to the center of the mat. All right, we only have 2 legs. So we're gonna stay holding on here, or just try holding on with your fingertips if you need a break. Just switch it up, you know. So inhale, bicep curl, press forward, lift, 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 looking up. Exhale, lean back, bow forward with your chest, just your chest. Head in line with the body. Inhale, bicep curl, lift, 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 press the chest, elbows in, right, elbows in. So put your elbows in, yeah, not that much, not that much. medium room. Exhale, lower back. There you go. So bow with the heart, right? So come on back and bow with the heart instead of the head. No, head in line with the body. Yeah, just the heart. Arch. Yes, that's beautiful. Inhale, lift. So we're gonna come to neutral, bend the left knee, keep pressing forward, lift, lift, lift. See the head stays in line with the body. You have your nice pillar, dynamic tension. Press your arms up into a V, up into a V. Yeah, and then lift the chest. Press your arms away. Lift the chest. Pulse with your breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, relax. That's it. Inhale, lift. Roll the shoulder blades down the back. Is everybody feeling the difference there? Mm-hmm. Just the chest. Just the chest. That's it. Okay, good. All right. Come on back. Do you notice how much work that is? You guys aren't smiling anymore. It's just like, oh my God, my arms are falling off. We don't have to do a ton of exercises to really get this. We're working the intrinsic muscles. We're gonna lift up, holding on to your wrist wraps, come to sit, have a chat. We hardly ever sit in the swing. Try not to kick each other, okay? We're working the intrinsic muscles around the joints, those smaller muscles that get really sleepy because the big muscles take over, so they never get a chance to really engage. And these small movements with alignment are working parts that we just don't ever use. Yeah. Now you're smiling. Me, see, and it works every time. Just come back into the me. All right, so now we're gonna bring it down. You guys doing good? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Now we're gonna bring it low. So we just did standing poses, let's do some floor poses. And I want you to consider, like you're running through, even if it was in the intermediate training, you're running through everything we learned, because all of this pressing and alignment looks a whole lot like Superfly, right? Yeah, okay, so we don't have to practice Superfly today, it would be a little much, but we'll do it tomorrow. Do some advanced poses tomorrow. But besides that, Is there anything you guys can think of that you'd want to practice after the floor? Just keep that in mind, because we want to cocoon as well, and practice our cocoon yoga massage like I promised. You guys are ready for cocooning? Yeah, so sweet. Like, aw. Okay, so we're gonna come to stand. We're gonna release the swing. Lots of different variations. We didn't do any grounding poses. There was one pose in your cards called rainbow, just in case you guys were wondering, which is also Supta Virasana, but that is long to fit on the little card. So we named it rainbow. That was really the only reason. So we're just using the leg loops in our hands, so you can leave the swing where it is. Okay, we're gonna slide down to the center, bunch it up. Just the leg loops. We're standing in the center of the mat. All right, so push-ups. We haven't done any push-ups yet. We're only gonna do one, so make it good. No. So what we wanna do is stack. So we're gonna work a lot with stacking tomorrow when we get into more of our forward folds. So stacking means your hands are in alignment with your shoulders. This is not the strongest position. This is the strongest position. So we either stack and bring our hands wide to a T, or we stack and bring our hands directly under our shoulders. Now I'm just gonna warn you, most people head dive here, and I want you to heart dive, so keep that in mind. Your elbows can flare out to the side, but as you come forward with your heart. And then you bend your knees and come on down. There you go, one, ta-da. No, we'll do more later. So we're gonna hold on. We're gonna bow in for a child's pose. So in this pose, you may or may not touch down. The idea is you're holding on with your hands. Your head and forehead might come close to the earth, it might not. You might be floating. Wherever you are is totally fine, just enjoy. We're not working so much on the lower body today, but I want you to puff out your kidneys, breathe into the back body, and let your body round for this version. So we're counterbalancing all the arching. We can't just arch, we need to round in and then undulate the spine and arch it over. So now we lift our gaze, we lift our heart, we inhale, swim the arms wide and overhead, nice and engaged, so you're plugging in. So some of you aren't plugged in. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. Thank you. That's plugged in. Then overhead. Try to stay plugged in and pulse. Drop the chest. Inhale, press, 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 lift. This looks a lot like number 2, right? So exhale, drop. Inhale, lift, and press, 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 press. Can you keep your shoulders down your back? You stay arched the whole time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Let's do that, sorry. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. That's when we press. Exhale, lower. Let it come from the heart. Everyone drop your heart even more. Your head stays higher than your shoulders, than your biceps. So come on down, just hang out here with me. Yeah, drop your heart, drop your heart. So is that too much tension on your shoulders, anybody? You can always bend your elbows if you need, but you have to pull your elbows in, okay? If that is the case. Some people's shoulders don't like it because they're usually dropping their head below their biceps. So we want to keep our ears above our biceps and pulse. And then we're going to inhale, open the arms wide, and exhale, dive back in. You can always go with a wrist wrap here if you prefer. It brings you up a little bit higher, but then your fingers don't get tired. So just see how your hands are doing. Lots of arms. So we can't work the upper body without working the arms. What happens when we externally rotate here? Play with externally rotating and then internally rotating while you're in your child's pose. Just feel what happens to the upper back. Beautiful. Then I want to come back to holding on with my fingers. I'm going to inhale, bring the leg loops wide and around, lift the chest, lift the gaze. So head does not come lax. Let's do it one more time, Brittany. So from here, I inhale, look up. Then I bring the arms wide and overhead. So head comes in line with the body first, right? We don't want to keep our head last and hanging off the end. It'll strain the shoulder joints. Then we're going to turn our knuckles towards us, bicep curl up, keeping the elbows in nice and tight. And then from this position, I usually like to get my head on the other side of my swing. Wrist wrap is a good option. So if you don't want to hold on with your fingers, try a wrist wrap. So try both and see which one you like better. But the elbows have to be in nice and tight, right? So we're stacking even here. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, sink back. let your bum come towards your heels, but can you keep that alignment, right? So we're externally rotating our arms, pulling our shoulders down the back, puffing out the chest. Lengthening both the front and back of the neck. So try not to kink the neck here. It might be a habit. You know, everyone come up, let's try it one more time, Pete. I'm like, I can feel your neck from over there. So
your hips were lifted.
well, I also had reconstructive surgery on both knees, so I don't come down all the way. Just
Yes, the butt reaches the heels.
Mhm.
That's okay.
well, not for today, not for what we're doing. Yeah, this is special. Yeah, so we're not kinking the neck in any of these poses. We're not doing that in this practice, in any pose. So whenever you do this, it's just not good, even if your butt is on your heels. All I had to do is come to my finger rack and then I'm still on the crown of my head with the back of my neck long. So let's just not kink the neck for today and see what it feels like to keep both the front and back of the neck long. It's going to be different. It might be challenging, but just go as far as it feels comfortable. If you want to stay up higher, wrist strap will keep you higher. If you hold on with your fingers, then you can come all the way down. Both are good. So this is camel, right? Or our version of camel. This is the last one, and then we're going to cocoon. So elbows in, right? Even more. Good. Nice. So our stacking should be like automatic, right? So where are our elbows? Where are our shoulders? Where are our wrists? Inhale, lift the chest, not the head, right? So just let's watch for one. I'm sorry to interrupt your flow, but lift the chest. So the back of my head just stays long the whole time. I don't have to kink my neck to come back. Come back up. You guys want to try that one? I'm going to watch. So inhale, lift the chest, arch from the chest, lift the chest, and start leaning back, leaning back. Yes. See? It's so possible. That's it. Yeah, so just keep the back of the head look. Can you come down a little further? Just slide into your finger wrap. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Arch from the chest and the neck can stay long. That's it. Pull up again like that. That was perfect. Yeah, that's it. So you don't have to come down all the way. Pull yourself back up when you're ready. Inhale, lift. All right, one more time. Let's try it together. Did that feel different? Yeah. I know that's all. Did that feel better to anybody? Did that feel good? Yes. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of collapse in camel into Supta Virasana. I don't even think it's worth teaching, especially with the knees flaring out and everything. It's just going to go right to the lower back. Did everybody's lower back feel happy?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is really rare in these poses. So even in camel, we just want this lift. That's all we're going for, is this big arch in the upper thoracic spine. And then when we lower back, we're keeping both the lower back and the cervical spine, the lumbar and cervical spine long. And my crown of the head can touch the floor, even if I keep my chin level. I don't have to keep that. Even if I keep my chin level, which is really challenging, that would be an advanced adjustment for the average person. Yeah, we're gonna come to sit. Yeah, just sit over to the side. Really good. I like to end, sometimes we do core exercises and bicycling here, but I like to end, this is gonna be really good, guys, so stick with me for just one more. First of all, wiggle your butt back. Find your pillar even here. It's like, oh my God, wide straddle forward folds. Like, very few people love this. Okay, so you're rolling your pubic bone under and back, first of all. So get that. Even if it's tight, you're aiming in that direction. It's kind of like you're trying to pour your belly forward. Okay? At least I have a belly. Sam's like, I don't have a belly.
Oh,
No, that was like your belly, not my belly. Yeah. Yeah, not the head, but your belly is coming forward. I know it's tempting. Keep your head back over your body. Arms are wide. And then I just want you to pulse with the chest. Keep your arms wide. Yes, that's it, Lizzie. Pulse with the chest. You might not go very far. Okay, so Caroline, smile. Hands need to be a little bit far forward. Yeah.
Is there pressure down in the arms?
I'm pulling down to lift the chest So engagement, right? Yeah, because we're just working. You don't have to do all of this engagement in every single pose, you know? This is just as if somebody comes in for shoulders in particular, you really want to work this alignment, really plugging in. Can you see the difference of unplugged and plugged here? Yeah, so the hands have to come a little bit more forward if you're unplugged, like Charlotte, hands have to come more forward, like that. That's it, yeah. And then just lead with the chest. And just let it be gentle. See, the thing about, you know, when people usually do forward folds, they're just like rounding, you know, let it be just a little bit coming forward each time, and pulse with the hips. Pulse with the hips. That's it. It will open. I can't tell you how long, but it will open. Okay. Let's go ahead and bicep curl. Let's use a wrist strap. Let's all do this together if you can. Make sure there's nothing behind you but a person. So we're gonna walk back, bicep curl, pull yourself up. There you go. We do a bunch of AYRx moves with just the leg loops in our hands, but we're not doing dynamic strengthening today. Just doing restorative. Okay, so who is having a really hard time right now? Thank you. Yeah. Will you be my volunteer? Sure. Okay. I'm just going to do a little yoga massage with you. If somebody's having a hard time, get them into cocoon, right? Like immediately be like, let's take a little break. You can tell by their breath. You can tell by their face. You can tell by their body language. You know, are they in this uplifted, jazzed, excited pose, or are they looking a little deflated and defeated, right? So can you get into cocoon for me? Actually, let's have you face away. Okay. So yes, start with the swing behind your back and facing away. Big handful. Now I want you guys to buddy up, buddy up, buddy up, buddy up. Okay? Do you guys mind doing it like that? Is that okay? Thank you. I just want you guys to have space, so come forward and back. Yes, thank you. That's what I was hoping for. Oh, she's in. Okay. So what you're going to do once they're in is make sure there's enough swing all the way to the knees and enough swing all the way to the crown of the head. Okay? If their head's popping out, they're going to give birth too early. Okay? Keep the head in. Really important. And then we want to keep the leg loops on. You know, the reason why, well, besides the fact that I think I'm funny, the reason why I create a lot of humor in the training is so you remember that. You're like, oh, don't give birth too early, right? And that's how you're like, that's how we check. So she's good. So you're going to put the leg loops on for your buddy. Because it's nice. You're just like, okay, we got this. Now, what we want to do is start out at the feet. And when we're hanging out at the feet, we're just going to give a little squeeze. Why don't we go ahead and have one person get in, because I'll demo again, okay? So one person get in. Do this along with me, because we have 10 minutes for each person, okay? Let's get them into cocoon. I was like, hey, wait a second. And then give them a little foot massage, okay? Get the leg loops on for them. Make sure that their head is in there. It's a really nice gesture to be like, you know what, let me get that for you. In terms of just letting their toes relax, letting their body relax. Yes, they can either be hugging with their arms over their chest or extending the arms overhead with bent elbows to give a little bit more space. Really nice, guys. I'm going to put on some relaxing music while you guys are getting centered. Usually I like to switch to, you know, Liquid Mind or some sort of brainwave music when I get into the yoga massage part, whatever you like. So yeah, just squeezing from the toes to the balls of the feet, down through the arches of the feet to the heels, and back up a couple times. Nothing fancy. You don't have to do a whole lot to get benefit. Okay. Awesome. And then we're going to get into some leg love. So we're also going to massage the lower leg along the leg loops from the back of the knee all the way to the calves. And I usually just do light. It's more like Reiki than Rolfing. Okay? Just light. It's kind of like a body wash. Okay? Just a few moments of that. Sometimes I like to rock them, so I'll hold on to the back of the heels and I'll just gently rock them from side to side if that feels like it would be relaxing for them. You can kind of tell if the person will find it relaxing or not. Okay? Then we're gonna come behind them and we're just gonna say hello to the neck. So it's just a gentle wash here. And I'm turning to the side a little bit so you guys could see me, but it's both hands. Basically from the crown of the head, going up and down to the shoulders. Just gently washing, gently, with ease. You're not really working that hard. I'll do it with one hand so you guys can tell it's just very gentle. I'm using the whole palm, the whole hand, not just the fingertips. Excellent. And then from there, I'm going to slide underneath them. If they really have a lot of neck tension, you can just hang out here, they're good. You know, people really like this touch on the outside of the swing. You don't have to do a whole lot. If you're not a massage therapist or this is not your gig, you don't have to do a lot. Just a little touch goes a long way. We're rebalancing the nervous system and starting to soothe and comfort the body to go into deep relaxation. Then I like to come underneath them. And I want you guys to pay attention to the light. You should be able to see me and do this as you go along. But I'm going to slide in so my chest is higher than her head. Okay? If you get underneath them too much, it's going to be difficult to use your feet. So I could use my hands, but I'm going to use my toes. I'm going to start out with bent knees. Little storm happening out there. And I'm just going to use my toes, and it's by the sacrum. I'm just rocking, not on the spine, but on each side of the spine. I'm just rocking. So closer to the spine. Here's at the start. Yeah. So after rocking, I'm going to gently walk. I call it walking to infinity because you're going to go so slow, and take tiny little steps. It's like you're trying to get in between each one of the vertebrae. And I'm relaxed, so my head is on the ground, my arms are above my head, my knees are soft. I'm just doing little tiny little steps. These are working the U points along the spine, which also boosts the immune system. And you don't need to know all that, you just need to know to be gentle and to not step on the spine, but beside the spine. Does anybody have any questions? So far, so good? So yeah, I'm going a little bit faster than normal. You want to try and take 10 minutes in your cocoon for massaging. So I'm going to walk up the spine, I'm going to walk down the spine, and then I'm going to walk back up again. Let's just say we got to the top. Expediting that part. So my toes are going to be on top of her shoulders, and I'm going to gently push her away and just rock her. I'm not going to straighten my legs quite yet. So I'm just making sure that I'm putting gentle pressure on the traps all the way up. So toes a little bit higher. The toes are kind of closer to the cervical. And I'm using the balls of my feet to press her away. So pretty far. So almost like you're straightening the legs, but not all the way. You're really pressing. So just rocking. And it's, again, not Rolfing. It's more like Reiki. Real gentle, real soft. Soft feet, if that makes sense to you guys. You have to be really easy with the feet, because sometimes if we're tense, we're transmitting tension to the body. And then if you want to try pressing them away and holding them there, that could feel good. But it's really important to pull your toes down towards their sacrum. So you're not pressing up towards their head, you're pulling your toes down towards the sacrum. Otherwise, you can create tension in the neck, and we're trying to relax the neck. Very good. And then come on back. And then I like to do just a little bit of a wash using the momentum. I let my toes slide up and down the back. Just kind of feels, it's like we're kind of scrubbing off a little layer. there. And then we're gonna come to sit. So you can really take your time with that practice. But I'm gonna come to sit, right? Pull your hips back. And then you're gonna be right in alignment with her head. And make sure you have enough room. I'm gonna just come over to the side a little bit here so the camera can see that I'm just using my hands to kind of trace the outer edges of the body and come up through the center. And then I can reverse it, go one way or both ways, but again, we're doing this gentle body wash. Real simple. All the way up to the crown of the head and back down again. Using the fingertips and the palms, and mixing it up. Usually a little bit longer of a session than we're doing today, but we're coming up because we want to switch. Nope, sit. I'm coming up, come to stand, the one giving. And then I'm gonna end with a little more neck love. So now I might be pulling up and out like we did before with a little bit more strength. It's still not roughing, but I'm pulling up and out and lengthening. So we would look a little bit like this, coming in and just giving this like a little bit more pull there. Yeah, as long as it's feeling good and you're like allowing there to be the last little bits of tension to be like pulled out through the crown of the head. So yeah, we could really make this a longer gift and stay 15, 20 minutes in the cocoon with them, doing some variations. And sometimes we can just do 5 minutes, just a quick body wash, I like to call it. So then our buddies are gonna come out nice and slow, reach up for the back edge of the swing, take your time, let your feet dangle towards the floor, swing please. Yeah, leg loops come off nice and easy. And then holding onto the back edge, you can pull yourself up to stand. Just waiting for everybody else, thank you. How'd that feel? Very nice, thank you, awesome. Okay, so Carol is gonna give to someone, and someone who just gave can come in and I will practice on them. Who just gave? Well, not you two.
Can practice on.
Who wants to receive again?
Sure.
The person, somebody who gave? All right, come on up. Yeah, Carolyn, yeah. Over here, we're switching, yeah. Sorry to confuse everyone. Let's have you face the other way. Everybody else is good? Face the other way. Hop on in. So once they're in, we make sure that they have enough swing stretched all the way to their knees. And then the swing goes over the head. Now I'm going to help them get their leg loops on. Nice and easy. So no chatting, right? Dropping into Shavasana. So we're inviting relaxation. Extend the leg loop all the way to the back of the knee. Make sure it's stretched out over the whole foot. Make sure it feels good. Even this is a little bit of a massage, right? Getting it on is like a nice gesture. You don't just put it on, right? Yeah. There you go. Great. It's just a nice invitation to receive. I don't know if you've noticed, but some people have trouble receiving. It's part of our culture that we're overgivers as women, and we're learning to receive. So even this, enjoy the gift of being taken care of in this very small way, right? Of getting the leg loops on. We're so used to, as adults, taking care of everybody else, but it's just such a nice gesture to go back into the womb. Full receptivity. Cocooning is really for integration. This is when we get to absorb all of the goodness of our practice. So real slowly, slow it down. Right? You're wanting to encourage that relaxation, slow it all down. We're just kind of moving up and down. Like tiny little squeezes, kind of like wringing out any bits of tension in the toes. There you go. Yeah. And then I like to give a little leg love, which looks like sliding up and down the leg loops. And just with my fingers and palms, just gentle little squeezes. It's more of like a body wash, but you can give the lower legs a little squeeze too. Mm-hmm. Really nice, guys. And really just pay attention to their breath. Sometimes people like rocking, and sometimes rocking makes them feel like uncomfortable or too active, but a little gentle rocking could really help. Sometimes I'll hold on to the back of the ankles and just gently rock them from side to side too. But real slow, so it's not like waking them up. Bringing the activity level down. Okay, we could do that. Yeah. Yeah, I just want to make sure like we get the recording. So this is not a real relaxation, so we're gonna just bring it down a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. This is not a real cocoon. I'm still learning. Yeah. Then we want to come to the back of the neck. So I normally use both hands, but if I do that, I'll block the view. So I'm going to just step to the side so you guys can notice I use my palms and my fingers to slide up from the shoulders to the back of the head, all the way to the crown of the head, and back down again. Just a little neck love. Really relaxed in the arms and shoulders for the person who's here. We've got a big storm coming in. Perfect timing. The power of the storm moving through the room. Okay, and then this is the really fun part. We're gonna get underneath them. Now notice you can skip the whole thing with your feet if you don't like using your toes, and you could just do a body wash here. And sometimes if I only have like 2 minutes at the end of class to get around to everyone, and we wanted to expedite, just a little neck, a little feet, and then the body wash. I'm just sitting to the side so you can see me. So use your whole hand and pump. That's it. That's it. Nice and easy. It's kind of like you're tracing the contours and the shape of the body with your fingers. What you want to do is go all the way from the crown of the head, all the way down through the shoulders, through the torso, all the way to the hips, and back around again. So you're cleansing. You don't want to only wash a part of the body. It kind of leaves the energy incomplete. Do you know what I mean? So go all the way around from the crown of the head, down through the neck, through the shoulders. Just follow with me, nice and slow, through the ribs, all the way down through the hips, wrap back around, and then slowly come up the spine. Do that again. You can reverse it where you can go down the spine, all the way till you hit the sacrum, wrap back around, and then back up again. So it's great to use a combination of full palms as well as fingertips, depending on how light you want to go, really how much surface. Any questions? Everybody good? You guys are doing great. It feels good.
Give us the toes just in case we want to.
Yes, exactly. Let's come on down. Thank you, Amy. Last little bit. You guys get a little extra. So my chest has to be above her head in order to bend my knees and be in a comfy, especially if you're long and they're low. And then my toes, just come on further back if you need space. You can get underneath them if you're smaller, and you can like really pull yourself back further if you need more room to bend your knees. Toes are gonna start out near the sacrum, and it's gonna be walking to infinity, right? One little baby step at a time, not on the spine, but on each side of the spine. So even at home, if you just grab a buddy and say, hey, get into cocoon, let me massage you, I'm sure they would love it. So you can grab anybody and practice on them, you know, and it's a really lovely way to connect and just add a little bit more bonding connection to a family member, a friend, a loved one. So we walk up the spine really, really slow. We walk down the spine. We walk up the spine. So we go, you know, up, down, back up. And then we wind up at the top. So just to go a little bit faster, we're gonna wind up at the top together. Okay, now make sure you're on the shoulders, like your toes are wrapping over the shoulders. And when you're pressing away, you're pulling down with your feet towards the sacrum. You don't want to push up, you want to pull down with your feet. See if that makes sense to you. So relax your feet, Amy, and let your toes kind of, let them wrap around, because we don't want to transmit tension, right? We want to feel relaxed. See how my hands are above my head? Yeah, that's like chilling. And relax your toes even more. Relax them. Yeah, it just feels different, you know? And see how I'm rocking? So I'm just pushing through the balls of the feet. The toes could stay relaxed the whole time. Yeah, that's it. So try and straighten the legs a little bit more, rocking a little bit more. Yeah. And then slowly just soften the knees. That's it. How you doing in there? You feeling okay? Lizzie? Great. If it feels good to straighten the legs all the way, it's a big press, but it's not you, me. Not the receiver gets to fully receive, but it's a great way to release tension in the shoulders. Make sure your heels are pulling down towards the sacrum. It's kind of you're tractioning down the back. And then you're just gonna do a little bit of body wash with your toes as you release them down towards the sacrum. Or just gently wiping away any last bits of tension. Usually down works better than up with this one, but play with it. And then we would do the same body wash we did before to end, where we pull ourselves up to sit. Make sure you're far enough back behind them that you guys have room for them. You don't want to pop your head. And then we're going to come to stand, do the same body wash we just did before. When we come to stand, usually you stand right behind them, level, equal, but I'm just doing it to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So now it's a little bit stronger. Now you can take your hands and really kind of pull up and out. It's not super strong, but it's a little bit more of a stretch. So they're coming to the end of their cocoon, and we're kind of inviting more awareness and awakening them gently by giving them a deep neck stretch to end. It just helps to pull all the energy out of the crown of the head at the end. Is kind of my energetic, that's my reasoning behind, my intuitive reasoning behind the ending with the neck and head. It just feels good. There's a lot of tension in the neck and shoulders. This is a really popular spot. All of that work we did today, we were learning something new, so it might be more engaging than we're used to. So deeply relaxing afterwards can help bring all that out. Great, we're gonna be back at 4 o'clock with our workshop. We're gonna take a half hour, answer questions, stay in cocoon if you're happy and you just wanna relax for your break, but we'll be back at 4 o'clock and we're gonna offer a therapeutics workshop to a whole new group and do a lot more assisting. Okay, we'll see you back then.